Morning, folks. Heading up the hill here. We've already missed a coach whip today, so things have already started a lot more active than it's usually been down here for me. Hoping that we might see something else crossing the road here as we go up. Temperatures are starting to get cooler as we go up too, which is also good because it's already over 80 degrees down in St. George. Fingers crossed we see something cool up on the mountain here though. Alright, so after that disastrous first attempt at the coach whip, we're going to be out here hiking for a little while. See if anything turns up. This is a little area where luckily I don't have to move far or fast because kind of the best habitat is right here at the little campground as it is. So we'll just poke around, see what might be moving, flip some rocks and logs if they're available, and go from there. There's a family of turkeys over here. You got Mom there who's looking out for me at the moment. And her babies are kind of hanging out in the brush all around her. Unfortunately, after nearly 2 hours of wandering around that spot, nothing else made itself known, which is really sad because as it turns out, there's some interesting red-tailed skinks that are found in that particular location. Couldn't turn them up. Did see this beautiful beaver-tail cactus in bloom on the way back down, but we switched locations afterward to see if we could turn up something a little higher up in the mountains. Alright, hour and a half later we have switched locations. It's about 3 miles west, but it took an hour's drive to get here because it's the other side of the mountain. Fingers crossed this afternoon might be a little more productive. Oh, big old female. Okay, and spraying on me. Well, maybe not the most exciting of finds just yet, but it's a pretty beautiful wandering garter snake. And that did not take very long at all. I am 2 minutes out of the car. So that's cool. She's had a meal in her recently too. I'm not sure if it's a rodent or a fish or what, but something. Anyway, just gonna let her get back onto whatever she was doing. Goodbye. There were certainly plenty of wildflowers to enjoy on the side of the mountain, from the native violets to some of the gorgeous bluebells, whichever species this might be in the area, Mertensia, but it took a little while before more reptiles started showing up. Where'd he go? Damn. There was a mountain skink over here, dang it. Oh, there he goes. Got him. We got the skink. Gotta put his rocks back now. Alright, not quite what I was expecting. I don't remember exactly which species is in this area, so I'll put it up onto the screen for you guys, but the skinks around here are generally not that easy to come by. So this is kind of a special find. Very pretty male here. He's got his orangey breeding colors around his mouth developing there, and something has taken a shot at him before, because you can see part of his tail was injured and it actually grew a second little point there, so that's kind of interesting. Very pretty little guy. So, well, there's plenty of lizards out, that's for sure. And here's hoping that maybe we'll find what eats them on this hillside. Fitting that I found the skink with the subspecies name of utahensis in Utah, but these guys are found, as their common name suggests, throughout the Great Basin region. Other subspecies are found in California as well as Baja California, but this is also the species that, for at least that one population on the other side of the mountain, they come in a red-tailed version. As we'll see in a little bit though, the more common variation is blue-tailed. All right, sir. You've had enough of me. Amazingly, there's a second skink. And hunt over here. I think he went under the rock, darn it. Alright, third skink seen today. Second one in hand. And this one is a female, missing a fair portion of her blue tail. That is so cool that it sticks around that long. But female definitely, because she doesn't have the colors around her lips there. Quite a bit stronger striping on this one too. Look at that. How gorgeous. Alright, back under your rock with you. That's quite a view out there. What we're seeing, that broad stretch of green there, is actually still a montane valley below us. It's relatively cool, it's high elevation. You still lose almost like 3,000 feet from there, heading down into the Mojave. So we are quite high up here, and this is almost deceptive looking at this. Then you got mountains stretching all the way out there, full of king snakes that I still cannot find. Still can't find snakes, but there are lizards displaying everywhere. Most of these guys look like sagebrush, but they have been all over the place. Took me a minute to figure out what I was looking at, because holy crap, this is a fat garter. My goodness, girl. You've been eating well, haven't you? So honestly, at first glance, I thought this was like a weird patterned small rattlesnake, because just how thick she is. But it's just a really, really big, like chunky, meaty female wandering garter. Look at that. I've seen them, a few of them, slightly longer. But I can't say I've seen very many that are much thicker than this girl. My goodness, she has been eating well. Alright, miss, we'll stop bothering ya. Well, apparently skinks are the only things that I can find out here, and I did look up what these guys were. They're Great Basin skinks, a subspecies of the skeletons. So definitely a new thing. This is another female, and she's actually got a complete tail still, with all that pretty blue color. What a cool little critter. Alright, we're just gonna put her right back down. Zoom. There she goes. Go. Oh, finally! Something on the road. Oh! It's a little long nose. Look at that. Well, not a new species overall, but at least a new species for the trip. And something I haven't seen in Utah yet. Long-nosed snake. It's got just a little bit of red in his pattern, kind of hard to see in the light here, but hopefully some of it shows up there. There we go. A little bit of that. It's just a young guy. They do get quite a bit bigger than this, but glad to at least have something out here. Now it's still warm. I might make another pass through here since Now, for some reason, traffic decided to spike at about 10 at night. So a bunch of bozos who should not be on the middle of nowhere road are on the middle of nowhere road. But it might be dying down finally. So maybe we can see a few more things out here. That pretty little guy. And we'll just make sure he gets safely across the road this time. Another. And this guy needs to come off the road before he gets hit by this car coming up. Alright, folks. A new subspecies to add to the list. This is the desert glossy snake, Arizona elegans, I think eburnata. I'll make sure to put up the right name on the screen though. It's kind of an odd name for these guys since pretty much all glossy snakes almost, except for the ones in the Great Plains, live in desert environments. So Mojave desert glossy would probably be a better name for these guys because they're pretty much endemic to the Mojave. And this guy's definitely quite different looking from any glossy I've seen before. Much paler, kind of an almost a tan orange tint to him that I haven't seen in others. Much smaller blotches. And he is quite quiet and curious actually, which is cool. It's still a young one. They get a whole lot bigger than this. And here comes a car to make things noisy in the background. But beautiful animals that hunt small lizards, rodents, etc. Anyway, we've gotten a few photos of this guy. I'm going to get a couple photos on the phone camera real quick. And then we'll get him off the road since he was almost off on his own. Might have been at risk from the next car that was coming up, but that's no longer an issue. Gorgeous. So correcting myself a little bit from what I said in the video earlier, desert glossy probably is the best name for this subspecies because there is already another Mojave endemic Mojave glossy snake, and these guys actually do stretch from the kind of central eastern Mojave region all the way down basically throughout the Colorado River Basin down into the Colorado Desert section of the Sonoran Desert. So they do stretch across multiple different desert environments and kind of straddle the border between the Mojave and the California glossies to the west and your Arizona and painted desert glossies to the east. All right, sir. You're gonna want to go off this way. No, off that direction, okay? There you go. Well, folks, tonight actually went better kind of than I was expecting it to because we actually found some snakes on the night cruise. The new glossy subspecies is a great thing to finish off with. Unfortunately for me, and I don't show this to you guys because it's just disheartening, but the night ended on a sour note in that coming back up over the mountains there to head back to the hotel, somebody had smashed a lyre snake, and those guys are so hard to find just as it is. They're barely in range in Utah, although a lot of species are just barely in range here as well. So that was a really sucky thing to see last. But missed out on the southwestern speckled rattlesnakes and the California king snakes. Unless by some miracle there's one running around at the very bottom of the canyon tomorrow morning. But this means I'll have to find them on another trip somewhere. Utah, southwest corner here still has a lot of secrets it's not wanting to give up. But tomorrow, hopefully will go well, and you'll see that in the next video. We're going to be cruising up further north. And then continuing north after that into other parts of Utah where there's some other species that I still have yet to see, like rubber boas. But fingers crossed we find what we're looking for. Until then, though, as always, if you enjoy the videos like this, make sure to like the video, share it if you know someone who'd like to see it. Leave comments and questions down below. If you have not yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything coming up. And you can find out more stuff that I'm doing at my website, carltoncarnivores.com, or following me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. at Carlton Carnivores. If you'd like to help support in a more financial manner, because these trips are expensive and editing the videos afterwards takes quite a bit of time and money, consider buying some of the plants or merchandise and such that I have at my website shop, or you can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/hcarlton. Members there get exclusive benefits back. Or you can donate at Coffee or contact me for other ways. Most of the links for these things will be in the video description below, though. And until next time, I'm Håkon Carlton, and this is Carlton Carnivores.